Good evening, this is Michael Hamley from AmericanChina.org out of Suzhou. In this video, I'm going to discuss how unmarried Chinese women will often live with their parents until they get married. If they are living in the same city with their parents, they must live with their parents. Now, if they're living in a different city, obviously, they can't live with their parents, but if they're living in the city that their parents live in, their parents insist that she stays with them until she's married. Now, this also includes a restriction on their social life, specifically the sexual part of their social life. Or Chinese women living with their parents cannot stay out all night unless they tell their parents they're with girlfriends and staying over their girlfriend's house, or girlfriend's houses rather, and they have to go ahead and lie if they want to stay overnight with the man. Basically, this creates difficulty in having a sex life, because you always have to be in a situation where a Chinese girl is covering for herself, trying to dupe her parents into thinking that she's with her friends when she's really not with her friends, and she's with the guy. Many Chinese women simply just go ahead and be honest about it and follow the rules and don't go out with men overnight. I mean, obviously they're having sexual interactions, they have boyfriends, but they just don't stay out all night with their boyfriends. I'm sure they're having sex with their boyfriends, but they're doing it more than likely in the early evening hours or something like that, and they arrange a schedule so they can get home at a time where their parents won't be suspicious of what they're doing out at night. For example, I went out on a date with a Chinese woman whom I met off Tinder, who was about 30, maybe 28, 29. I didn't know what her exact age was. We went out on a date in Changzhou, and she told me that even if she wanted to come back to my hotel, she would not do it because her parents would say something about it if she stayed out the whole night. If she was going to go ahead and do that, she would have had to have covered herself with an excuse about staying over at her friend's house. I was in shock. I couldn't believe the fact that a woman 29 years of age could not stay out overnight. I mean, I can understand her living at her parents' house, and this is part of culture in China. And it's part of the culture in many old world societies, despite the fact that they're modernizing at a frightening rate. But I just couldn't fathom how they could possibly restrict her sexual life to that degree, and that she was willing to adhere to these rules so stringently. In fact, she said she had a perfect record, lauding herself on her propriety by adhering to her parents' rules about staying out overnight and possibly having sex with a man. She said she's had sex before, so she must have had sex in the early evening hours or something like that, or in the daytime. I don't know. I didn't inquire. I was just completely flabbergasted about the fact that in the modern era, a woman could be so restricted sexually. But that's how things work in the more old world traditional societies, despite the fact that they are developing and modernizing and being influenced by the West. Travel or die with AmericanChina.org.